This is The Creative, a podcast of authentic discussion with industry pros.
Now that we're at the very start of our podcast episode together, will you tell me your first and last name, how old you are, and your favorite kind of art?
Okay. My name is Alexander Pearce. My favorite
What's your favorite art?
My favorite art is kirigami.
Kirigami. Kirigami. Go ahead and just talk into the microphone right there. And what is kirigami?
Kirigami is origami with a little bit of cutting and glue.
And Alex, how old are you?
6.
You're 6. And you like kirigami, which is cutting and glue. Now, at the house, is this something you do at school? Kirigami? Do you do kirigami at school?
I did kirigami at school for one project.
And you just absolutely loved it?
Yes, in art. And it was a kirigami fish. But I didn't finish mine. Nobody in Miss Kelson's class actually finished theirs.
Oh.
But I just needed to add the last fin to finish mine. But after I had my first fin, I didn't have enough time to glue my second one.
Oh, running out of time. That's a thing I think that happens to a lot of artists and creatives everywhere, is that you have an idea for a project that you want to finish, and we don't have enough time to get it done. At the house, I see you. I don't see the origami with glue and cutting, but I do see you draw a lot. Do you like to draw?
Yes, I don't like to do it, but I love to do it.
You love to do it. What kind of drawings do you love to make?
Well, I love to practice making dinosaur and comic drawings.
What's the longest comic book you've ever drawn? How many pages?
Well, I only drawed one, but it was very short. Its name is called Ben 10-3.
Ben 10-3. Did you watch a TV show episode of Ben 10? Or did you come up with the story all by yourself?
I watched the show Ben 10, but I just added the 3 because it was the third one that came up, and it's on Netflix.
And when you wrote your comic, did you come up with your own idea for the Ben 10-3 story, or did you use some of the TV show?
I used half of the first episode of the first season of the first one, which is on Hulu, but the rest, but that was the last half. The first half, I made it all up with the first half.
You made it all up. When you make up the parts of your stories in a comic book or in a drawing, do you think of all the story words first? Do you think of all the pictures first? Or is it a little bit of both?
I do both. After I write the pictures, I do the words, but I only do the pictures on one page first, and then do the words on the page that I drawed on, and then keep on doing it until I finish the comic.
Now, when you draw, a different question. Do you like crayons, markers, pens, pencils? What's your favorite thing to use to draw with?
For tracing, I like to use a pencil because I can erase a mistake. I don't use pens because I have to scratch out the mistake and I can't draw it again. for coloring, I always use a crayon. And for the words, I use a pencil too. So if I can erase, a word, a letter that doesn't go in the word that spells it wrong.
Mm-hmm. And when you draw, how much practice do you? Well, let me ask that a different way. What happens if you are drawing and you don't like the picture? Do you quit? Do you keep trying? How much practice do you use?
I keep on trying until I make it how I want. But it's still not going to be as good as Kay's. But that's okay.
That's okay. Do you think your artwork keeps getting better?
Yes.
Yeah. So you like origami, and I see you draw at the house a lot. What other kind of art do you do?
I also love to do origami, but I'm trying to work on doing origami what I want with no instructions. But that's actually pretty hard.
Origami without instructions. Yeah, I could see that could be really, really hard to do. That would just be like folding paper. Alex, do you play any musical instruments right now?
That go back one.
Go back one? Yeah. What do you want me? Do you want me to ask about origami some more?
No, don't ask about origami. I want to say something about it.
Go ahead.
Well, the thing about origami is you really don't instructions are not, origami isn't like origami, because origami is just folding paper until you make the shape that you want. That's origami.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Was there anything else you wanted to say about origami?
No.
Okay. Now, the question that I wanted to ask was, are there any music instruments that you play right now?
No.
No? Is there any Alex, are there any music instruments you want to play?
No.
No. What about other kind of art? Now, I see you in creative things. I see you play with...
But I like to use instruments. I just don't like to sing.
Okay. That's okay. You don't have to sing. In other ways that I see you being creative, I see you use Lego all the time. Do you think the building you do with Lego is creative?
Yeah, because it's a type of art I like to do.
Mm-hmm. And tell me more about the Lego that you like to play with. Alex, tell me more about the Lego art that you like to do.
I like to make a Lego city.
A Lego city? How big are your Lego cities? How many buildings?
I never made a Lego city. I'm trying to work on the buildings, but I just can't find enough room.
What do you mean you can't find enough room? Like to build out the city?
I can't find enough room to build the city because every time I make a house, it's just too big. And every time I make a skyscraper, it's just going to be bigger and going to take up all the space. And there will be no other space for the other buildings.
No other space for the other buildings. So that seems like another kind of very universal creative problem right there. Our imagination and our idea for a project is bigger and more grand than what we can actually do. Have you thought about changing the size of your buildings?
I don't know which size. I'm trying to find enough room, which is a lot of huge Lego flat squares, so I can make enough room for my city.
Did you know we have some of those Lego flat squares stored underneath our bed over here?
No.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll get those out later for you.
But I want them to be bigger.
They are big. We'll pull those out. We'll let you play with them.
Are they bigger than the ones that are in the living room?
I think so.
Or
Yeah.
if there are one, but if they're one more layer bigger, I need like 4 of them.
Well, I think we have 2. So that's a starting place.
Okay, could we get 2 more?
Maybe. We'll see.
Do you remember the place where you got?
Probably on the internet. I mean, the ones we have are like old. So, but Lego keeps making those big sheets like that, so we could probably order some on the internet. Let's see here. What other kind of things have you been doing creative work on a computer yet?
I'm trying to make Legos and follow Lego instructions on the computer, but I can't. But it seems like I can't find any Legos that I need. It's so hard to find a single one that every time I do a different one, I can't find a single piece. Not even one. Not even a huge one.
Well,
I can't find it.
When I watch you do this, you pick out Lego instructions on the internet, and I don't think it always relates to the Lego sets that we have. You just pick instructions and see how far you can get. And then sometimes you've picked out a couple of instructions from really old sets from when I was a kid, and so maybe just pieces are missing. I don't know. It's fun to watch you puzzle through it, though. What about puzzles? Do you like puzzles?
I love puzzles.
You love puzzles. What's your favorite kind of puzzle?
The dinosaur one that we got with Grammy and Papa.
Oh, a dinosaur puzzle. Yeah. So, I don't know. What else that's cool about doing art and creativity that you'd want to talk about? Anything else you want to share?
For your questions.
Okay. When you grow up, do you want to keep doing art, or do you want a different kind of job when you grow up?
When I grow up, I want to help build buildings.
You want to help build buildings? Do you want to be the person that helps doing the building, or do you want to be the person that comes up with the idea for what the building should look like?
I want to be the person that helps make the building.
Well, that is a real job. That's kind of, yeah, I think that's close to what your uncle does. I mean, he's more in management with it, but it's similar to what Uncle Mike does. Cool. Well, is there anything else that you want to talk about, Alex, or anything else you want to share in the podcast broadcast to everyone about being a kid that's learning creativity and art?
Is it just going to be answering questions?
Unless there's a story you want to share. Is there something that you want to tell us? But mostly it's answering questions.
I can't come up with any more answers.
That's okay. Do you want to ask me any questions? You don't have to.
Dad, how would you move from scaled to left turn only?
How did I move from scaled to left turn only? Well, you got it backwards. I worked at left turn only, and then I worked at scaled.
But how'd you go back to working at left turn only?
I didn't.
You always?
Well, when I was done working at left turn only, I went and worked for the organization called Scaled, and that was a work relationship that didn't last very long, only about 8 weeks. And when that was over, I've just been hanging out at the house looking for the new work opportunity. It's where the podcast came from, so I wasn't doing nothing, but I had something to work on.
So, do you still work at Scaled?
No, right now, at least at the time of this recording, you would say that I was unemployed.
So where do you now work at?
I don't. I'm looking for a job. Now, I might have found a new one, but it's too early to know for sure if it's true or just a big maybe. But it seems to be going well. I might have a brand new job within a week. Is there anything else?
Can it be the end?
Yes, it can be the end. Thank you very much for talking with us on the Creative, Alex. This was great to have you on the podcast.
See you next time.
See you next time.
On Kids Broadcast.
Thanks, Alex. All right.